Shidim Shari. It's going to be an interesting day today as far as the market. 9/11/2024. A somber day, a date that we all will remember. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's hard to believe that what happened is literally so far away, so long ago. So, if you are under 20, teenagers, toddler, I'm not sure how much of this day mean to you. Um, I can tell you a little story. I remember extremely well everything about that day. I was working in Boston. I was working for Putnam Investment, the mutual fund Putnam. It's my last corporate job. For those that don't know me, I have worked a couple of years for investment firm in various positions between 1996 and 2001. I quit my job for an investment firm in money managing capacity, high level, in 2000. And then I started my own business, my own accounting firm. At the time, it blew up in summer of 2000. But in January of 2001, as the business was blowing up, I tried to buy a condo. My first piece of property, the first piece of property I ever want to buy or can afford to buy. So you're talking about, I was born in 1966. So here I am, 36 years old, or 34 years old, okay, 34 years old. For the first time, I have money. Well, I have money before to buy something. In 1999, 2000, I probably could have afford to buy something, but being single, I was more interested in investing my money into my startup and stuff like that. So I was broke. I was mostly broke in 1998, 1999, even 2000. I didn't have free money to go and buy a house or put down payment. But prior to 1998, there's no way. There is no way I could afford to buy anything. I graduated out of MBA school in 1993, broke, and from 1994 onward, probably need to save up. So the complaint I hear a lot the last couple of years of somehow the younger generation has been robbed of home buying opportunities out of college is absolutely insane. Whenever I hear someone in their 20s crying on TikTok that they had to work and they can't afford to buy a home like their parents, I'm just like, what parents did you come from? I don't know a whole lot of people my age that bought home in their 20s. What delusional world are we living in? I don't care what the inflation rate was when I was 20. I didn't make enough money to even consider buying a house of any sort in my 20s. Back to my story. Today's going to be a long video because I like to tell stories sometimes. So, here I am, January of 2001. For the first time in my life, I feel that I have a long-term business that will bring me generational wealth, my business. And I went to the bank. to try to qualify for a mortgage. And the bank official looked at me and said, "Are you out of your mind? Your business barely up and running for 6 months since June of 2000. Yeah, it looked good. For 6 months, you brought in $80,000. That's impressive. It's still poop. Maybe in a year, tax return of 2001, if you show even more, which it did, then yeah, it has something. But right now, I can't give you a loan. Tell you what, if you want to get a loan from me, go get a job. Show me 3 months of pay stubs. Yeah, that's what I need. Show me 3 months of pay stubs. And then from there, maybe I can get you a loan based on what that pay stub looked like. Imagine how that turned into what we had in 2006, 2007, when we have liar loans, right? For those that know the term liar loan, where people apply for loan with phony numbers, or the bank don't care what your income is to check on it. And that's how the housing market bubble happened in 2006, 2007. So yeah, so guess what? So I looked in the paper in Boston. I was living with my parents. I literally was sleeping on my parents' couch in 2000. Okay, I was sleeping. I was still sleeping on that couch at this point, January of 2001. And I'm just like, okay, I need to find a job. So I opened up the paper, boom, saw a job for, they call it a quant. The term you might hear on CNBC once in a while. Quant stand for quantitative analyst. Back then, a quant is basically TA, bots, traders, programmed writings. Basically that's what, people that are into TA and writing programs, algorithm, for big firm, for Wall Street, for mutual funds. Those are the jobs. So I saw a job for a quant analyst at Putnam Investment, the mutual fund downtown Boston. So I went for the interview. I'm a pretty good interviewer. I have exceptional skills. Bottom line, exceptional skills. Okay, when it comes down to investment, and coding, not trading. Back in 2001, I knew almost nothing about TA, almost nothing. I heard of technical analysis. I heard about, moving average and blah, 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 but I know nothing. But I have exceptional coding skills. If for those that know how to code, it doesn't matter what you know how to code, what language. If you know how to code, you can learn to code any language, because it is about logic. Coding is about logic. Computer is stupid. Any computer is stupid, okay? It need coding. It need instruction. And instruction are logic based. So even though I know nothing about quant, TA, I got the job with Putnam. And for the next many months, after the fourth month, my base pay at Putnam at that time was 85,000. Yes, 85,000. That was the job. I would skip the detail of the job, but it was interesting. I can give you a side story. The boss, I was hired. I interviewed with 3 mutual fund manager at Putnam. 3. I was there to support 3 mutual fund manager. Putnam, I believe the biggest fund there was Putnam Voyager. Might still be the biggest one. But these men that interview me are the people that appear on CNBC once in a while to talk about the market. Yes, big shot. Um, Eventually, one of the men was fired, along with a few other people at Putnam for rigging the international mutual fund that they traded. It's complicated, but yeah, uh, some shady stuff going on when I was working there directly. Um, but I was doing quant, writing programs and code for the bots for the mutual fund. This is the early stage of the bots taking over managing mutual funds. It was interesting. I learned a lot. Um, but for the next few months, I go back to the banks. So what I did was I went to first of all, I went back to the same banks that told me no, we can't give you a nickel. So after 3 or 4 months, I came back to the same guy that told me a few months earlier, hey, go get a job, show me a couple of pay stubs, and we'll get you a loan. So I went back to him, showed the pay stub. That from the pay stub you can tell that I was making $85,000 a year, and call it whatever you want, racism or whatever. Okay, nope, you can't. This is not good enough. I'm like, not good enough. You told me I can get a job and show you pay stubs, and here's a job. Okay, 85,000 is not a lot of money, but it's decent wage in Boston in 2001. Make no mistake about that. It's not, you're not going to go out there and buy a big mansion, but I should be qualified for a loan of some sort to buy a condo in a slum in the ghetto. Okay, it's good enough. Trust me. But nope, he wouldn't give me a loan. So what I did was for the next many months, once a month, I would go to a different bank to see if I can get a loan. And yeah, and this went on and on not in September. So now you're talking 8 months into this working, and so I was doing. It was very difficult because I work at Putnam. I work. I get to the office before 8 o'clock, and I don't get home until 8. It was a 12-hour day. I busted my butt. I was a good worker. I did what I need to do, even though it was a short-term job in my mind. I knew I not gonna stay here forever. It's just a matter of months that I will be gone. So, but I still work. That's just my working ethical code. I do the job that's needed. I want my team to succeed. I work with a team of 5 other coders, and the six of us supported all the mutual funds in their managing money, and we wrote codes all day long. Whatever they wanted, we're trying to figure out how to write a code that will meet their needs. Um, the the job itself was okay, but my business was blowing up. So I was working. I basically wake up at 7, shower, and walk to work. I basically rented a condo, an apartment in the north end of Boston. For those that know Boston, the north end downtown fairly expensive. I was paying $2,000 a month for a studio in the north end, the Italian section of Boston. But I can walk to the financial center of Boston in about, give or take, 15 to 20 minutes and be at Putnam. That's why I did that, because I knew there is no way I'm spending an hour or an hour and a half of my time on the train, in the subway, to go to work and then work on my business. There is no way I can do that. Absolutely no way. So I was willing to spend $2,000 a month for a studio in the North End. Wake up at 7, shower, and walk to work. Get there by 8, because you had to be there by 8, because at 8 you have all this meeting preparation, discussion with the manager on what the market is doing, blah 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 blah. So, and then I don't finish work until 7, and then walk home. I would grab a slice of pizza because the North End of Boston, all the Italian restaurants there. I cooked once in that apartment. Okay, I cooked once. That apartment had one plate, one bowl, one fork, one knife, one spoon, and one coffee cup. That's it. That cup, that restaurant have. I brought one of each because I knew, I planned. I knew that I have no time, so I get home by 8 to shower again, and then I work until midnight with my business. And on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I work 12 to 14 hours a day with my business. It was so much work. It was the hardest many months of my life because I had to do both jobs. And without even bragging, I doubt anybody I know out there is willing to put in that kind of hours that I did. Okay, I was working basically 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, to make my dream. I'm very hard on people when it comes down to like working hard. No, I know you can't work like I did. You can't. Okay, so when I hear people complaining about not having this, not having that, I'm like, are you willing to work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 9 months or 10 months or whatever, how long it takes? No, I don't know anyone, not one person. So save the I work hard shit. I don't know anyone that worked as hard as I did. Since then, or even now, never have. Back to my story. On 9/11 in 2001, I was sitting at my desk. My desk at Putnam Investment is like seriously, it looked like something that you see in a typical Wall Street desk. I have 4 monitors. I have my computer monitors. I have a trading monitor. I have, well, for sure, I have a Bloomberg. Okay, you know those Bloomberg machine. Okay, trust me, if you know what Wall Street trading desk look like, that's my desk. Okay, I have 4 screen, and on my left is the big TV with CNBC running. Okay, and my desk is a cubicle. Okay, it's not an open desk, so I have my own little cubicle. But I remember seeing on TV live how 9/11 unfolded. Everyone was in shock. And by 10, by 9:30 a.m., between 9:30 and 10 a.m., there was a company-wide announcement by management to say, go home. Everybody, go home. It is unsafe to be in the building that are potentially other target, because by this point, we knew that those planes came from Boston. Well, not all of them, but yeah. So we just like maybe, and the building. If you have never been to Boston, Boston is a very low city. By that I mean there's not that many high riser. There's one big one at the time, and I don't think that has changed. It's the Prudential Building, the John Hancock Building, and the Prudential Buildings are the 2 highest. And by high, it's nothing like New York. Okay, Boston is very short city. That's how I describe Boston. It's one of the shortest cities if you compare it to say Chicago or Boston. It's very short. But Putnam Building was fairly tall, and they say, well, it's unsafe to be here. Plus, the stock market is closed, so everybody go home. So we all walk home. That was my 9/11 memory. And of course, I get home and I was glued to the TV all day long. Real quickly, this is September. So by early November, so you're talking 10 months after I got my job, finally a bank approved me for $350,000 in mortgage. It took me that long to get $350,000. Unreal. Unreal. Took me that long. So guess what? I walked into my manager boss, my boss office that next day to give him my 2-week notice. And my boss looked at me and said, "Are you insane? Who in the world would quit a job?" He said, do you have another job?" I'm like, "No, I don't have another job. I did not have an offer for another company with another company. That's not why I'm quitting. I want to run my own business, blah, blah, blah." I didn't give him detail. I never told anyone at work that I have 2 jobs, okay? He's just like, "Who would quit?" He looked at me like, "Who would quit a job in finance in November?" He said, "At the least stick it out until the end of December." Why? Bonus. You are great, Nick. You're great. You get a huge bonus. Your bonus could be 25% of your pay. You know, you're making 85,000 right now. Your bonus could be easily 20 grand, if not more. You're the best one on the team, if not the second best one on the team, out of the 6 people in this team. Is there anything I can say, talk to you to keep you? I'm like, "No, I'm quitting. I don't care about the bonus. I'm gone, I'm out." And that was it. I was done and out. And that was the last time I worked for anybody. But yes, Putnam Investment is, and I did not even put that on my resume. My resume have never have Putnam Investment in it for that 10 months that I worked there. The last thing on my resume is my business, my company, being founder and president of the company since 2000. That's it. That's the last thing on my resume. And that's the story of the day. Oh, how many people tune into this little nugget of the day and see me tell this story, right? Because yeah, yes, 9/11. Still remember it very clearly of everything that happened that day. And definitely a day to remember. Hopefully the next generation still will remember it. And it's a day to remember, to understand the history. All right, let's focus on commodities today. Cleveland Cliff, falling off the cliff. Nasty. But there will be time when buying these will be a no-brainer. And as crazy as I say, between now and the next 6 months could be a generational buying opportunity for Cleveland Cliff. Okay, it's there now, but not quite yet. Okay, not quite yet. But look at this thing. It fell off support, pre-market. It's part of it too is because of its potential buying U.S. steel or buying portion of U.S. steel. Who knows what? But it's weak. Okay, it's weak commodities, weak economy. You can't ignore it. Go back 3 years. Is there any kind of reference low? It is basically 3-year low. Let's go back 5 years. Okay, so this is 5 years, and yeah, it's still, of course, down there, 9. Okay, you can see it. Let's go back even. Let's go back 20 years. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at how bad this look. Okay, 9. Okay, so right there, 9 is right here. Okay, so if you go back, let's draw. It's already, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Let's draw in the recession of 2000. You see the bottom of the market in March of 2009, right there. You see where it is right now? It literally is there. Holy cow. I did not expect that, but wow. Wow. Okay, so let's draw it in. We are there. Okay, we are there. Look at that. Bounce, massive. The next 2 years after that, wow. Wow, right? You're talking 9, 11, wow, back then is 11-ish. Let me zoom it in. This is, okay. I screwed it up. I messed that up. I just want to make sure I got, let's go to 08, 09. I want to do something real quick. I just want to make sure I hit the right low. Right there. Okay. Yeah, so I got it right. 11 points. So yeah, can you believe it? We are lower than March 2009 low. Insanity. Okay, insanity. So yeah, look at this thing. Cleveland Cliff, talking about, forget about the housing bubble. Look at this bubble. Goodness gracious. 90%, 95%. Wow. But look at this rebound, right? Even a year later, you're talking from 11 to 73, 6x. Who say you need crypto or Nvidia for 6x in 1 year? And then 10x. Woo! Okay, insanity. Okay, so after that you had the crash, and then you have the resistance, breakout, check back, blah blah blah. Now we are breaking down for the first time. We are once again back below double digit. Okay, so yeah, I if you have long-term horizon beyond 6 months, I think buying here all the way down to single digit somewhere. Well, it's single digit now. Okay, well, it's 10. It's barely hanging on to double digit, but I do think accumulating, you don't have to do it today. I'm not doing it today. Okay, there are time, but it's definitely on the watch list to buy. I'm not. I don't need Cleveland Cliff to go back. Okay, it has not returned to the high of 2008, 2011, 2012. No, it has not even close to it. But would you like to buy Cleveland Cliff at 10-ish, and then in 2 years see it at 35? Is 3x something you think is poo-poo? Is 3x a poo-poo for you 2 years from now? Not for me. How about 2x? Hey, if we get back to what it was back in March, hey, anyone that think buying something now and in 2 years get 2x is boring, I don't know what to say. You don't know. Obviously, you think getting a double is something that can be achieved easily in anywhere. But yes, I like Cleveland Cliff here, even though I still think it will be torturous, sideways, slowly bleed down to somewhere single digit, potentially. Yes, it can happen, but buying a few shares starting here at this price level is not a bad idea if you have at least 1 year horizon. Okay, 1 year at least. if you have 2 year horizon, I think 2 or 3x is very doable. I like it. I like it here. All right, just hang on. Commodity is getting the beat down. All right, beat down. When it comes down to commodities, it say a lot about global strength, not just the U.S., global, and the way commodities across the board, from oil to fertilizer to steel to copper, it's saying we are in the globally we are in trouble. Okay, look, mosaic, fertilizer, channel low. So if you have long-term horizon, this is not a bad spot to buy, to nibble, to take a position. You're talking 3 year low here. That's how bad it is. Let's go back. Let's go back 20 years. Yeah, we get COVID low here. Okay, so COVID low, single digit. Once again, another stock that I said you don't have to, you don't need to jump in right now and buy. Oh my God, no. Look at the last recession. Yeah, the last recession low was 23.65. Okay, almost there. Can we get there? Yeah, absolutely. So let's keep watching it. Put it on watch. Put an alert at 23.60. In fact, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put an alert at 23. So when I break it, I say, yeah, it's time. Okay, below. Put it at 23, right there. Buy time. Buy. There you go. Just so I know it's getting close to that line of support, because it bounced off, as you can see. Bounce, bounce. Violate a little bit. Violate. And then break out again. So yeah, watch that line. 23. We'll buy below 23. You know, we buy below 23 for sure. But yeah, there will be time. Okay. Alcoa. Yeah. Aluminum. Does this look like a strong economy? Oh, commodities do not lie. Okay, when you come down to commodities, especially if you look away from oil, it does not lie on how bad things are globally. Last recession, yeah, it went as low as 15-ish. Okay, so yeah, no need to jump into it here. It's not a bad spot to buy, but we're heading lower, potentially to 15. So, and then look at COVID low. It's one of the few things that go lower than the last recession already with COVID low. So yeah, can we get to COVID low? Maybe, but recession low, last recession low of 15-ish, yeah, buy. Okay, we're not that far. Well, 13 from from 28 to 15 is kind of far. Okay, let's be real. Okay, but unlike Mosaic, it has some way to go. But I'm watching it. And last, Freeport, Mr. Copper, the king of copper. Okay, the one indicator that most people pay attention to. Oh, if copper is doing badly, we're in a recession. Because copper is used in a lot of places. Okay, bottom line. And if there's one thing with oil is showing more strength, but it's not good. Okay, it's not good. If there's people that are anti-recession, as in like they don't believe that we are heading into recession. They think that we are going into some kind of soft landing or no landing and everything is good. It is, they are looking at copper, and FCX is the reason. And right now it's doing good. It's not doing great. It's breaking down. um, we are far from, look, it came down. Look, if you buy the dip, okay, if you're a dip buyer, last recession, and every time that you buy down here, you did okay. Okay, sure, down here you didn't do too well for a few months, right? But if you hold on for a year or two, you did okay. You did absolutely okay. Hey, you double. If you hold on, if you buy here, depending on where you buy. Let's say you buy it here, right? At 8. Sure, it stunk. If you hold on to it to see it come down to 4, but 2 years later, you get a double. Okay, so it ain't bad. A double in 2 years, it ain't bad. In fact, you get almost a triple in 3 years later. So no, it's good. Okay, so and then of course March, of course you get COVID low, came back down to 5. Yeah, wow, right? Wow, 5 to 50, 10x, 10x. Let me repeat, 10x. You don't need crypto. You don't need Nvidia to get 10x in 2 years. Okay, it's pretty sweet. But now it's come down, and to me, nah, it's a no touch for me. Okay, it's a no touch because if out of all the previous 3 that I show you, this one can fall a lot more, a lot more. All right, look, 63 to 8. Chew on that. Okay, so it can fall hard, hard, as in Boston accent, hard. It can fall very hard. All right. Wow, I didn't realize I'm gonna be rambling for 40 minutes or whatever, or an hour. If you last this long, I hope you enjoyed the story, and we'll see what the CPI is gonna say.